Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Friday FARcast. FARcast. Do I know what? Should have the vocal delay here. Come on now. The Friday FARcast. That's about right. Whoa, hey, still a little echoey in here. A little bit echoey. How about that? Let me shut the door here. Take out some of this echo. What's happening out there? Robert Phoenix, Friday. We get together here on Fridays so that we can hang out, stretch out, explore a few ideas, get into a few different things, stretch out a little bit more. Don't have that 30-minute kind of, feeling of being constricted, like I got to get it all out right now. Because, God damn it, I got to be heard. Everybody else got to be heard. It's our time to be heard on this planet. And that's why we have all these tools, like the internet and the YouTube and the internet radio and the Twitters. It's all time for us to be heard. We're all just talking at each other. Or listen to me, 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 listen to me. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. I got something to say. God darn it. And I don't even care if I'm right. This is my truth. You gotta try it. Ooh, hey, whoa. Hey, you gotta try it sometimes. It's kind of liberating. But here we are. Friday. And I'm just gonna start at the top of my head and just clear some of this shit out. I'm sorry, I'm saying a naughty word, but I want to. I was watching, I watch sports. And sports used to be just kind of you know what sports was? Sports used to be like Iceland. If you wanted to get away from the world, you'd go watch some sports. It would be kind of like going to Iceland. You'd be able to get away and be there for a limited period of time because you don't really want to stay in Iceland. I don't think. I mean, who knows? I might want to. I think it's a pretty interesting place. I've always wanted to go there. But at some point you leave. It's not like you go to, say, the Maldives. You may not want to leave the Maldives. That's not sports. Sports, you want to leave and go off and do your life. But it's that place, it's that refuge. Maybe it's the cabin in the woods. But you come back. It's not like that anymore. I'm sorry. It's just not like that anymore. It's not a place for the refuge for the mind of the Western male. And it truly, sports are my soap operas. Fantasy football is my Dungeons and Dragons. I know it's not very enlightened, but I indulge in them anyway because in some ways you get this distillation of drama and this distillation of the moment. And even though, yes, they're corrupt. The NBA was fixed. It's still fixed. The Super Bowls are fixed. Either Vegas fixes them or the NFL fixes them. They're fixed. And I think the NFL wanted a fair and long game this past Super Bowl, even though Roger Goodell doesn't like Tom Brady. Roger Goodell is not a complete dictator. There are owners that Roger Goodell works for. He works for the owners. He is not a dictator, although at times he comes off as being a bit of a dictator, but he works for the owners. And if the owners want a product that people want to watch, the owners will kind of get in on it and say, hey, look, we need a good product here. We need people to watch for 4 quarters. And you rarely do we get blowouts in the Super Bowl. I mean, even 2 years ago when the Broncos won the Super Bowl against the Carolina Panthers, the Panthers weren't really all that out of the game until maybe the 4th quarter. Although Cam Newton was the most disinterested and kind of shell-shocked looking player I've ever seen before a Super Bowl. The guy just was not there. He was not into it. I don't know what happened to him before the game, the night before the game, the day before the game. I mean, maybe they took him into the little ritual space and said, okay, time to pay up, brother. Time to pay it to Baphomet. We're going to take you to a party. Party like you've never seen before. We're going to take you down. A couple of stories down while we do some stuff that never leaves the room. And you're going to do it too. You're going to like it. Was that the case? I don't know. He sure didn't play like a guy who could play football the way he'd been playing football. And certainly this year he didn't have the same kind of swag. But the game was close, even though he was not that great. Anyway, I was watching some sports today. And it's a show called, what is it? Oh, God, I don't even know the name. It's so banal. It's essentially Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, who's an ex-football player. And Skip has been a writer, sports writer, and pundit. He's really a gadfly more than anything now. He made cut his fortune by covering the Dallas Cowboys, and he was kind of sort of confrontational, acrimonious. There is on Any Given Sunday, Oliver Stone's film about football. There's a character in there played by John McGinley who is kind of based on Skip Bayless. He's obnoxious. That gives you kind of an idea of Skip Bayless, which is interesting because his brother Rick Bayless is a world-renowned chef. Has one of the great Mexican restaurants in all the world. And that's not to say that Skip isn't a bright guy or can write, but I'm just giving you his background. Shannon Sharp, very vocal, very opinionated, used to play football, Hall of Fame player. Give it up for Shannon. Went to Savannah State and wound up in the Hall of Fame. It's a good story. Younger brother of Sterling Sharp, who had a promising career cut short by injury. So he did something his brother couldn't do. Not that his brother wasn't any good. He was great. He just got hurt. So there they were. They're talking about Colin Kaepernick and Johnny Manziel. And Colin Kaepernick, I've talked about on the show before. I was so dialed into Colin Kaepernick that I absolutely knew when he was going to get the starting job in San Francisco. I was looking at his chart. I was looking at Alex Smith's chart. And it was, it wasn't really rocket science, but you had to kind of look for it because Alex Smith is a Taurus and he has Saturn in Scorpio and he was going through his Saturn return. And who's sitting there on the roster? None other than Colin Kaepernick, who's a Scorpio. So Colin Kaepernick would be Alex Smith's Saturn. He would be his Saturn return. Clear and simple. And Alex would have to go through a fair amount of kind of resurrection of self, which he did. And Alex Smith handled it like how we would expect Alex Smith to handle it. He handled it with class and dignity. The son of a principal from San Diego, California, blah, 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 blah. That's exactly what he did. And I called it to the day. I called it. I said, Colin Kaepernick, Alex Smith is going to get hurt in this game against the St. Louis Rams, and Colin Kaepernick is going to be the starter, and then they're not going to look back. And it happened exactly like that. That's the truth. And then I was following Kaepernick and his career and I was really dialed in. I had this weird kind of psychic link with him, and through the chart as well. Oh, I got a chili in my eye. I was cooking late last night, and I was experimenting with ramen, and I had these Serrano chilies. They were dried because I'd had them around for a while, and I decided, hey, let me crush up a little Serrano chili in my ramen. Ooh, it's right at that edge. Well, apparently there was a little bit oil left in my palm. To remedy that. So they're talking about Colin Kaepernick, and Kaepernick, of course, spent last season recovering from injury, and he met his Muslim girlfriend, Nessa, and when he was injured, he really became a changed guy. He became a vegan. He was yoked up on protein and meat, and that guy was gone. He had a shaved head, and now he had like this big, giant 70s fro. And I like the 70s fro. I thought that was actually a pretty cool look. It's like, yeah, man, grow your hair out. I like that look. No, not everybody's got that big 70s afro. So it was great. But then he started to get into the whole kneeling thing, and he was like, oh my God. Here we go. And I don't mind if somebody kneels. Go ahead, kneel, take a knee. It's America. Go do it, man. But then he opened his mouth. I'm like, you got to be kidding. Now, he did say something about Hillary Clinton, which I thought was kind of interesting. It was in the left who supported him, kind of left that part out. So he got that part right. He got a lot of everything else wrong. Because most of what happened during the Obama administration was a psyop. It was a total psyop created to pit blacks versus whites. Plain and simple. It was a racially motivated divide and conquer strategy right out of Saul Alinsky, and Barack Obama and his administration were the greatest enablers and perpetrators of a crime. I think it's a crime against America. It was a total crime. They didn't do anything. I mean, they weren't doing anything. They turned the last 4 years of that administration into a race and social justice platform. And they birthed Black Lives Matter, and they became this disruptive force. And I don't have a problem with people speaking their minds. It's fine. It's Uranus and Aries. People can do it. This is the astrological real estate we have. It's fair game for anyone, but it wasn't organic. It was completely astroturfed, just like the Tea Party was astroturfed. It was astroturfed too. And what we have is this residue now, and Trump is kind of like the, if you have like a cheese melt, and you cook it too long and you get the burnt ends of the bread, and it kind of, the burnt crust along. Trump is like the burnt crust now of this kind of overly cooked sandwich or piece of meat. I mean, that's what he is. And so we get the burnt ends with Trump. And a lot of people feel burnt. And so I was watching this morning, and Kaepernick came up. And there's Shannon Sharp saying, oh, Johnny Manziel's going to get another chance. Why not Colin Kaepernick? He's one of the 16th best quarterbacks in the NFL. No, he's not. He's terrible. He's terrible. He rode a wave of anger and wanting to prove something to people. And that goes a long ways until you get to a certain point where the anger is gone. And at that point, you've got to either reinvent yourself, find something else to get angry about, or play with joy and abandon and passion. Now, I remember going through this one time in my life. I was like, when I played basketball, I played angry. Because I had to. I was good, but I wasn't as good as everybody else. It was, it was like, my anger was going to get me over the edge. It would make me focused, intense, and people wouldn't want to play with me. Or against me. I didn't punch anybody. I didn't kick anybody. I didn't do any of that stuff. Although I've seen it. I've seen it on basketball courts. I remember one day